Jeff Zeleny, I want you and our viewers to listen to something that the President Trump, didn't intend to be public, but his mic was hot. This was as he and the other European leaders were sitting down to the meeting, and he was talking about Vladimir Putin and what Trump believes Putin will do for him personally.
I think he wants to make a deal. I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds.
Jeff?
A couple of key words in there are "for me." I think he wants to make a deal for me. I mean, it's not altogether surprising that President Trump thinks this. Whenever there's a hot mic moment, we're always slightly more interested than when it's something that he would have just said. It's not actually all that dissimilar from things he said throughout the campaign. But what's different about it now is the whole comment there, wants to make a deal for me, that was at the root of President Trump's entire argument that I can end this on day one. That his relationship with President Putin was so strong from that first term. They were stablemates, as he once said on 60 Minutes, of which there was no evidence of. But this is just kind of the latest version of it. There's been zero evidence that President Putin is using his relationship with Donald Trump to do anything for Trump, to end it for Trump. So I think it was just a window into President Trump's mindset there, and perhaps not that surprising, but
yeah, I mean,
revealing.
It is a good point that most of what President Trump says, you don't need a hot mic because he just says it on a mic that he doesn't care if it's hot or not.
I mean, he actually said it just earlier.
But yeah,
for me versus for Biden. This is Biden's war, he said, sitting in the Oval Office with Zelensky, that they had agreement on Friday, that Putin agreed with him, that had Biden, had Trump been in office, this war would not have started the way that Trump had been arguing forever. And so he loves the thinking through his lens that just by his presence and being, that world events would have been different.
But it's been 8 months and he's not been able to end it.
Yeah.
Well, is there any evidence that what Donald Trump clearly believes, that Putin will do something for him, is true?
Look, this is evidence that Vladimir Putin in Alaska got the magic working again, that KGB training to assess people, to see their desires and their weaknesses, got him right back where he wanted to be. And the point that there never would have been a war had Trump been president. Vladimir Putin said 4 weeks after the inaugural in response to a reporter's question in Moscow, and I'm sure it lit Trump up at that point. So Putin will get another chance tonight after the Europeans work Trump over to work him right back. It's just like a vaccine.
Knowing that's a whole different conversation. Knowing President Trump the way that you do, what is that conversation, phone call that he's going to make? I know I'm jumping ahead right now, but I'm just curious what you think after this meeting is done. What's that phone call going to be, and how important is it that it's Putin who's going to get the last word at the end of the day with that call?
Well, I think the unspoken issue here really is land. And if published reports in this country are true, that Putin basically said, if I don't get Donetsk, there isn't going to be anything, and you have to go to Zelensky and say, if you give Russia Donetsk, the rest of the province, the 30% Russia doesn't control, then a lot of these other things are possible. And if that is rejected by this group, Trump is going to report that to Putin, and Putin's going to say, I told you Zelensky was the obstacle to peace. And that's the next part of the manipulation. I'm doing this for you, Donald. We're on this together. Zelensky is the problem. And again, that's why all the European leaders said in the public part of that ceremony, all of us here want peace, meaning including Zelensky. I think that's the first place Putin will go at. Whether he gets a chance to go after the security guarantees may not even be necessary.
Yeah.